Registrato on the Starfield oracle. We are anomalous readings. Member crew have been compromised. Do not repeat. Not board. On the start oracle. We are anomalous readings. Members of the crew have been compromised.
I cannot give up. Hold on. You are strong. Concentrate.
I'm trying, Sirach, but it's getting worse. Can you feel my mind slipping? Fragmented. I'll become one of them. You have to get away from me.
No, I will not leave you here.
It's pointless. We share this fate. This is our end. The great. No, it's happening! Sirach, run! I can't stop it!
Is someone there or... My mind turns against me. I must return to engineering and make one last attempt to restore the power.
Post-incident log. Something has gone horribly wrong. We were in orbit directly above Dasra, monitoring our current experiments when we experienced a sudden energy surge. I feel the source came from the city itself. It triggered our graph drive and shoved the Oracle to an unknown location. We thought members of the crew were somehow lost in the junk. And later, we were attacked by what I will refer to as vortex phantoms. I thought I recognized some of them. Could it be that the energy surge has somehow transformed them and warped their minds? Post-incident log. After the initial jump, Areas of the Oracle have somehow been sectioned off by strange energy fields or barriers. The fields allow no one to pass and are somehow able to repel, almost teleport, the trespasser back. I am certain these new fields are related to the Vortex Phantoms. Both resonate with the same energy pattern. The exact same pattern we were studying for Anasko's experiments. Something happened in Dasra. And if the situation is bad here, I fear for our brethren in the city.
Dislodged in the last jump. The gravity. Restoring the gravity may pull the cell into place. If I can get to the control room, if I can No! They are coming! Post-incident log. I am one of the few remaining unaffected crew on the Oracle. Nadine, Basira, and Taras are the only others I was able to find. I fear it is just a matter of time before we succumb to this energy that is turning the others. How long will we last? And will my mind be strong enough to hold out when my time comes? Basira and I have programmed the Oracle to return to Va'ruun Kai's orbit once it is able. All of our research will automatically be transmitted the moment we are within Dasra's range. I pray our work here was not in vain. Controls! Why will they not respond to me? Work, damn you!
Warning. Gravity procedure initiated. Please check your surroundings to ensure personal safety. Restoring gravity in 3, 2, 1. Cell collected. Report to operations for system reboot.
The Vortex Phantoms. Where did they go? Something is wrong. No! Not now! I have to hold on!
Mainframe reboot initiated. Commencing protocol. Station lockdown completed. All major systems on standby. Mainframe reboot completed. Warning. Station jump procedure initiated. Please check your surroundings to ensure personal safety. Jump in 3, 2, 1. Execute. Jump completed. Station lockdown released. Initiating data transfer. Incoming transmission.
This is Dasra calling the Oracle Station. We've received your transmission. Your orders are to send a representative down here immediately. It appears we have much to discuss.
Hold very still, and choose your words carefully. They will determine how long you live. You have no right to be here. You will tell me how you found this place. But it was lost. All communication ceased. There was no sign of it.
Indeed it did. The Oracle is perhaps the least of our problems, I'm afraid. Voris, I think we need not fear our guest. Perhaps, in this time of need, the Great Serpent has delivered us a gift.
Counselor, with due respect, we have not had unannounced visitors here in generations. It is a clear breach of security.
I do not disagree, and I know that security, in whatever small form we can grasp it, is of paramount importance. But you must acknowledge the timing is curious. And perhaps our guest's intent should be determined before we take further action. We received the automated transmission, but you are certainly not who we expected to find.
Great Serpent,
It's happening again.
hear me.
Speaker, we are here!
We have reached out to you to seek guidance in our hour of need. The gate in the Citadel has been opened just to seek you. Have I failed you? What is this place? Where am I? Why do you not show yourself? I strive only to follow your command. All must serve. Please, do not leave me in darkness. Oh, Great Serpent, is that you? Is it your presence I feel? I feel something, yet I see nothing. Is this a test? What do you require of me? Great Serpent, I have done all that I can. The scaled citadel itself has been transformed to petition you. I know that all must serve, but I need more. I require guidance. Take pity on us and reveal the way forward.
It cannot be coincidence that you arrive here now. Our leader, Anasko Va'ruun, he has appeared like this over and over. So many of our people have been trapped in this state, these vortex phantoms. But usually they are hostile and lash out. Anasko is different. If only we could hear his voice, some reassurance that all is not lost. You could hear him. Despite the sightings, none have heard the word from Anasko in all this time, yet you claim to. Do not toy with me. Not about this. If you speak truth, you must prove it. What did he say? I, the Serpent. No outsider would know our creed. It is never uttered beyond this city. Truly, you did hear Anasko. You have been chosen. People of House Va'ruun, hear me. We have asked the Great Serpent for deliverance from our calamity, and he has answered us. This outsider has been chosen as the most unlikely vessel for the Great Serpent's divine providence, and he will help save us all. Outsider, please. But there are, even in these dire circumstances, we cannot turn from Jinan Va'ruun's teachings. You will be granted safe passage through Dazra and the lands beyond. No harm will come to you. On that, you have my word. But to truly aid us, you must become part of House Va'ruun. This is not a thing done lightly, and it cannot be taken back. Will you commit to helping us by becoming one of the promised? Excellent. Please, come with me. Forgive me for not introducing myself. I am Malibor Dulkev, a member of the High Council of House Va'ruun. I have been asked to represent the Council in this moment. Please, enter our city. You have my word that you will not be harmed. I would ask that until you have become promised, you avoid the citizens of Dazra. They are not used to outsiders. Open the gate!
I have nothing to say.
This temple will have revealed for now, but surely you saw the scaled citadel as you arrived. It was the center of an explosion of sorts that has annihilated most of our city. We have lost many of our brothers and sisters. I believe we are still in danger.
If you have been sent to us.
The city is in shambles. The speaker is missing, and here you are leading some outsider through our sacred space? Why allow this husk to defile our city? Have we not lost enough?
Have faith. I believe this outsider was guided here by the Great Serpent himself. And soon, Serpent willing, they will be one of us. But I can be sure and pass your concerns on to the rest of the High Council, if you wish. I apologize for the interruption. There is a ritual intended for converts to the Promised that has not been performed in generations. We are fortunate that there are those still alive who remember the old ways and have remained prepared for such a moment as this. Herald Inaza. I suspected we might find you here waiting.
I saw the ship landing. I knew immediately that I would be needed.
Indeed you are. This is Inaza Kaisir, Herald of the Serpent. She will guide you through the ritual. I am needed elsewhere, but I assure you that you are in good hands.
So, the Great Serpent sends you to me. There is something about you. No husk that walk the Serpent's path. To enter this sacred cave, there is no turning back. You will be forever changed. This is a path you must walk of your own free will, alone. Will you step forward and emerge anointed, one of the promised? Then enter, and I shall guide you along the Serpent's path. And so you arise, one of the promised of House Va'ruun. Did you feel the Great Serpent working within you? Do you feel born anew? Yes, your confidence is impressive. One who remains obedient through every trial of this life and perseveres in the name of the Great Serpent will always retain his favor. I grant you the title of Adherent. All will know you. All will trust you. Above us, in the grand ship morning, jewel of the Va'ruun fleet, the High Council awaits your arrival. Serve them. Serve the Great Serpent. All must serve.
Good to see you. Welcome, Adherent. You stand before what remains of the High Council, advisors to Anasko Va'ruun. We are all that is left after the disaster that has befallen our people. I represent House Dulkef. Jamal is from House Kadik, and we are joined by Lovek of House Vital. We are, all of us, hopeful that your arrival in Dazra and your clear connection to Anasko Va'ruun, for the first time in weeks, represent some semblance of hope. But you do. We have only seen brief glimpses of him since the incident. But you heard him speak. How can that be taken as anything other than providence? Please, just allow us a moment to explain.
By all means, Malabor. I can't wait to see how you spend this.
Please, can we just for a moment...
Can we just for a moment what? Discuss whether or not to allow the first convert to House Va'ruun since before any of us were born? A bit late on that, it seems.
You were not there. You did not see Anasko. It felt different. We have already wasted so much time and...
You're correct. I was not there. Because you elected to travel to the spaceport on your own, and then decided this on your own.
Do not waste time with more bickering. Anasko, and by extension House Va'ruun, suffers with every passing moment.
Of course, Lovek. My apologies. Please, Malabor, do go on.
Anasko Va'ruun, like his father before him, has relied on the teachings of Jinan to guide us. Anasko wondered if perhaps it was time to seek guidance directly from the Great Serpent. and so sought a means of reaching out.
Perhaps he found the teachings inadequate.
Careful, Kadik. You tread on dangerous ground.
I mean nothing by it. We simply were never consulted on the matter and do not know the full motive.
The point is that a series of experiments have taken place over the years, utilizing grav drive technology to hopefully make direct contact with the Great Serpent, similar to Jinan Va'ruun's initial meeting.
And then something went wrong.
We do not know what happened. We were not inside the Scaled Citadel at the time.
Had we been, we wouldn't be standing here now. We'd be like the rest of them.
A great tide of energy emanated from the Scaled Citadel and swept across Dasra. Much was destroyed in its wake. Those caught in the blast have been left in a state of confusion, trapped halfway between our universe and the Vortex. The Citadel itself remains in such a state, right there and yet beyond our reach. We can only assume that the experiment is still running, somehow preventing us from entering the Citadel. We cannot get in, so we cannot stop it. We were beginning to lose hope before you arrived. Your arrival and your interaction with Anasko shows that he can still be saved. A plan had been devised to access the Citadel, but the work stalled. Clearly, it is time to move forward with it. The current head of our science team, Ekris, should be in Jinan Plaza down below us, towards the Citadel. Tell him about your experience with Anasko, and that work on the morning device must proceed.
We will all be lucky to see the end of the year. Well, look who it is. You have made quite a stir, and given the state of things, that is a singular accomplishment. To what do I owe the honor, adherent? Did he now? How magnanimous. But approval is approval, and I will gladly take it. I will spare you much of the technical detail, as I confess that pieces of it I barely understand myself. One cannot help but notice the energy field around the Scaled Citadel. Until we can get through it, we cannot shut down the experiment inside, and it has proved quite impossible to get through. We had the beginnings of a plan to build a makeshift contraption to redirect grav drive energy to see if we could penetrate the barrier, but the project came to a halt. Politics got in the way. Every one of the houses needs to contribute, and everyone realized they could potentially use it for leverage. What should have been a cooperative effort turned contentious. Easy decisions became negotiations. And so, construction never began. We have sat here, staring at this disaster as supplies pile up for well over a week now. Serpent help us, it is infuriating. Indeed. All must serve. I believe I've done enough complaining for now. Time to get to work. If you're here, the Council has likely sent word to the houses that it's time to stop the infighting. I doubt it will be enough. I need to oversee construction here, make sure things are built to specifications. If you could follow up with the houses, that may speed up the process. The first convert in generations, the only one to have heard from the speaker since the disaster, oh, I think they will listen. House Fetal owes us access codes for the city power grid. It's the only way to guarantee enough power to activate the device. House Kadik was supposed to provide a young scientist named Sahima to help me. She had at least some experience with the original Citadel experiment. No idea why they refused to send her. And Hasmek, the new elder of House Dulkef, he has been distant, guarded. He claims to have vital information about an important component of the experiment, but has withheld it until now. Help me get what we need, and we will see what we can do for the Speaker, and for House Va'ruun. And I may have something that can help you in whatever trials the Serpent puts before you as we navigate this. We have been nearly overwhelmed with all that has happened over the last few weeks, but I have still spent some time doing my own research when I can. These phantoms, the vortex. Fascinating subject, really. If only there were some less disastrous way we could have discovered all this. I know. I have lost friends and colleagues myself. We have encountered several interesting phenomena. First, while the phantoms shift to a fully human form when killed, they often retain small shards that appear to be an almost crystallized version of vortex energy. Second, we have learned that killing the phantoms sometimes causes an even greater disturbance. Horrors, as they have been colloquially termed, can appear from somewhere. We are unsure of their origin, but it is not within our universe. These horrors and their spawn are infested with cysts, a seemingly organic manifestation of vortex energy. We have managed to collect enough to run experiments and have devised a method of combining them into an explosive mixture with varying properties. While they have no use in the development of the morning device, if you find yourself out in the field, I believe they could have more practical applications. The process is simple enough that any industrial workstation should suffice, if you have the materials. And depending on how you combine said materials, you may find the results to be somewhat variable. I hope you can use that to your advantage. Yes, depending on how much trouble you're getting into. We have been nearly overwhelmed with all that has happened over the last few weeks, but I have still spent some time doing my own research when I can. These phantoms, the vortex. Fascinating subject, really. If only there were some less disastrous way we could have discovered all this. I know. We haven't... Second, these horrors, we have managed to... Well, they...
So, Akris has sent our newest adherent to inquire about Sahima. Don't worry, Jamal's already told me all about you. I'm Razma, Elder of House Kadik and head of the Ministry of Conjunction. Well, it's also an honor to meet one as interesting as yourself. I wouldn't have suspected an outsider to be made promised. But who am I to argue with the Great Serpent's choice? I know the Council is looking to Sahima for answers, but the truth is, she's been taken, along with other members of the House. They're being held hostage by zealots, and now they're demanding negotiations. The zealots have yet to name specifics. At best, they'll demand an inordinate amount of credits or firearms. Worst case, a seat at the High Council or even the reinstatement of their house. House Maleen. They know we can't risk Sahima for Dazra's sake. So, they won't hold back when it comes to demands. Aha. My thoughts exactly. Normally, I'd have agents doing everything possible to find them. But we too suffered losses. We need to be here. Present. I couldn't risk more lives. It's the only reason I even agreed to these negotiations. But now that you're here, I can finally take action. And that is where the issue lies. I don't know where the Zealots are keeping Sahima, but I have a good idea who does. Their name is Merrick. Merrick is a Kadik, and they also work for me as an agent in the Ministry of Conjunction. This is where matters get complicated. As I said, Merrick works for me in the Ministry of Conjunction. They've been establishing an inside relationship with the Zealots for some time now, on my orders. Forcing them to give up the information could jeopardize all they've worked for. So don't expect them to be forthcoming. Get the information any way you see fit, as long as no physical harm comes to them. See that you do. You'll find Merrick upstairs in the meditation room.
You're no member of House Kadik. What are you doing here? And you are? Ah, the heretic turned promised. I was wondering when our paths would cross. So tell me, what would a chosen one such as yourself want with someone like me? I'm sorry, did you say zealots? Why would I know anything about such extremists? Absolutely ridiculous. So much for confidentiality. I guess this means the High Council is still asking Auntie Razma where Sahima is. And if you're here making demands, she obviously has decided to make use of you rather than undergo sincere negotiations. I see what's going on here. On the contrary, I know how important it is to keep that information confidential. I've worked hard to obtain my position with the Zealots. And like I've told Razma 1,000 times, I have no reason to believe they're going to hurt my dear cousins, especially Sahima. So, as far as I'm concerned, that information stays with me. Oh, I don't... I suppose you have a point. And when these negotiations succeed, I'm sure you'll get her. Perhaps you're right. I suppose that's a possibility. True, given the circumstances, a bit more caution may be needed here. All right, I'll let you in on their location. But remember, you're the only one that knows. If word spreads, I'll know exactly who's to blame. The location you're looking for is Shadow Station Epsilon. It's an old Va'ruun base that they've taken over for themselves. Razma will know it. Let her tell you the details, seeing as how I'm about to be reassigned. Watch your tone. You may be promised, but you're still an outsider.
You must have gotten the location. Ah, yes, the old Va'ruun military outpost. It's a remnant of the Serpent's Crusade. If my intel is correct, you can find Shadow Station Epsilon in the Badlands, north of Dazra. I can send you the coordinates. The sooner the better. Now that we have a rescue mission underway, I'll speak to Merrick about setting up the negotiations. I expect them to be pliable after their last encounter with you. The current plan is to hold them at one of the geothermal power stations. Meet us there when Sahima and the others are safe. Good. Serpent willing. Your timing will line up. I'll stall the Zealots as long as I can, which shouldn't be an issue. That being said, I'd still appreciate it if you could act quickly. Now, Jamal wants an update before you leave. Just don't let her distract you for too long.
Adherent, a word before you go. Tell me, Adherent, what do you know about the Zealots? An oversimplified observation, but correct nonetheless. The Zealots are widely frowned upon within our society. They're a remnant of the Serpent's Crusade, days we'd like to forget. Has my dear sister given you any history on our house's relations with the Zealots? I'm surprised she even mentioned that much. Razma would have everyone believe she only wishes to keep an eye on the Zealots, so the Council can make informed decisions. The truth is, she's had this particular group of Zealots under her thumb for quite some time. This is only a problem now because she's lost control. That is the real reason why Razma hasn't informed the High Council, and I'm sworn to silence. Exactly. House Kadik already has a reputation for being sympathetic to the Zealots, but the truth is far worse. Razma wants the Zealots to back House Kadik, so the balance of power between the noble houses would shift to us. She's been employing them, paying them in supplies that aid their blind crusade. The Council knows nothing of her work with the Zealots, and I aim to keep it that way. All elders have their own ambitions. I'm certain that's all they see. What none of us expected was the disaster that is the Scaled Citadel. The aftermath is what allowed the Zealots to grab Sahima and the others, flipping the balance of power in their favor. Razma has lost control and is putting House Kadik's reputation and power at risk. And that's what I wish to speak to you about. House Kadik shouldn't be associating with Zealots at all, except on an extermination level. But worse, we absolutely cannot be supplying them with ordnance of any kind. We need to cut ties with the Zealots altogether. How astute. I want you to put an end to any connections between House Kadik and the Zealots. And while my position won't allow me to be blunt, I'll still make it clear. Should the hostages not survive, Razma would blame the Zealots and cut all ties. What we need is Sahima's research, which she has with her. You just need to bring it back. I see I misjudged you. How unfortunate for us all. Well, should you change your mind, the offer still stands. And Adherent, this conversation stays between us.
have to get me out of here. Who? Serpent's Grace, I knew it! I knew she wouldn't just leave us here to rot. It's more than just me. There are others. The Zealots have been using them to force me to continue my research here. They think I have all the answers since the original experiment was a catastrophic failure. So my theory is correct. Or I should say, the High Council now believes my theory, the better theory, is correct. I knew it! I told them their algorithms and insufficient testing were only giving the illusion of stability. But no one wants to listen to me. Not the girl who put people twice my age to shame when it came to assessments. Of course, this is what it would take for Razma to send someone after me. I'm only family by name. I overheard the Zealots mention negotiating with House Kadik, so the motivations are clear. Not only does the High Council deem me important, but Razma needs to remove me from the equation. I get it. But at least now everyone knows I was right. Yes, step 1 is freeing the others. The Zealots aren't aware of how I've been delving into their systems here. I told them I needed full access if they expect me to replicate Anasko's experiment, and I didn't even bother with risk assessment. They think I'm applying my theories to their poor excuse for technology down here. Granted, I could probably make it work if I had to. Right, getting there. The other hostages are being kept just beyond this room. I can disengage the locks to their cell and grant you access to an elevator in the room beyond that will take them to safety. You just have to clear out that area first, and the Zealots down there are different. Oh, I'm not going anywhere yet. While you get the rescue underway, I'm going to set up certain guarantees here. I'll meet you and the others out. Well, you have to. I just need enough time to set up a remote device so I can launch a virus that will render this place useless. Think of it as a failsafe to guarantee our safety. The Zealots would never risk this base or their ships. Good. I'll see you outside.
Who are you?
Who are you?
You aren't a Zealot. Who are you? Thank the Serpent. So that means she's safe? I wish it were that easy. The Zealots separated us. Our brethren are still out there. Please, I can ready my people here, but you'll have to deal with the Zealots and rescue the others so we may all escape safely. The Great One has truly sent you to save us. I only pray our fellow promise to remain strong enough to return home. We'll await your safe return outside.
Serpent is this. The Great Serpent has heard me. Thank you.
We all
Great
made it.
Serpent was
We're
truly
safe.
watching over us.
You did it! It's true what they say. The air really does smell fresher.
Serpent bless you. We owe you our lives. Thank you.
Correction, it's time for you to get back. I'm going to stay back a moment and make sure everyone here is okay to make it back safely. I'll catch up with you shortly. Just let me know where the negotiations are taking place. Don't worry. Razma came through for me. It's only fair I return the favor. I'll be there when it counts. Now go.
Is your intent to be unreasonable the whole time? I thought this was a negotiation.
We're having a friendly chat, aren't we? It's not my fault you don't find my offers acceptable.
Nah, just the person I wanted to see. Please tell me you bring good news. Exactly what I wanted to hear.
Razma, who is this? You allow any commoner to just waltz in on official business. I'd expect better security from House Kadik.
This is hardly official business.
Yes. And now these so-called negotiations are over.
Over? You'd risk everything after the whispers of a stranger. I demand to know who this is. You think I care about Anasko Va'ruun, son of a traitor? Only a complete fool would expect me to believe this.
It's true, Mihail. And if you don't leave now, peacefully, I'll make sure your ships and Shadow Station Epsilon are made dust.
You... How did you... You're bluffing.
Test me. You think a genius mind like mine wouldn't find a way to hack into every system in your base? This remote device will launch a virus that will detonate systems within Epsilon, and reach your ships as well.
You realize how this may affect future partnerships, Razma. You'd jeopardize our connections.
It jeopardizes nothing. It merely restores the natural order.
The natural order. I could take you all out here and now. You know every one of us is prepared to answer the Serpent's call.
Are you sure?
You'll launch that virus, and I guarantee blood will spill. What's there to reconsider? No, but it's the death they know is possible. Besides, you think I'd turn my back on the insults thrown here today?
You mean, do we think you'd throw away your life and the lives of everyone at Shadow Station Epsilon over your pride, Mihail? No, I for one don't think you will. And you can't deny our partnerships have been beneficial for us both.
We'll see about that. Yes. Their lives are better spent in active service. The Serpent would lose a very efficient disciple. You make a fair point. But this would be a sacrifice for the Great Serpent's work. Enough joking! This ends now.
Something I can do?
House Kadik is in your debt.
As am I. I owe you my life.
Sahima, you are a part of this house.
I know. I just wanted to say thank you. Personally. And here, it's the research and algorithm the High Council wants. I'm sure they'll appreciate it more coming from you. I'm going back to check on the others, but maybe come find me when you're done. Great. You can find me at the Great House whenever you get the chance.
We'll talk later, Sahima. As I was saying, House Kadik is in your debt. You've helped me maintain a very precarious balance. And one day it will. But until then, they're a necessary evil. One that we'll be keeping a much closer eye on. I'd appreciate it if you kept this a secret. A fair price to pay for silence. The others involved know better than to speak of this. As much as it disappoints me, I can't say I'm surprised. Jamal's never cared for our view with the Zealots. And she has no love for those taken. But this is what makes her an excellent mediary. You and the rest of our house. Now, I have much to do, and so do you. Ekris and the High Council will be expecting you. You do not understand.
understand. I saw Anasko, took measure of his burdens.
Ah, were you able to find Sahima? Perfect. I have no doubt Sahima's work is the key to stabilizing the warning device. If only the others had listened to her, we may not have lost so much of our great city. This leaves houses Dul Kef and Fathol.
Politics can wait. Every moment we delay, Anasko descends further into the void.
For the last time, faith will not remove the barrier. Science will.
It is the hubris of science that failed you in this moment. We reached out to the Great Serpent. This is his reply.
You claim he has forsaken us?
I do no such thing. The Great Serpent's reply is not an answer, but a question. Are we worthy of his grace? Until that is proven, your works will not succeed. Thank you, adherent. But the proof is not in our words. It is in the vision. Anasko's presence still persists in this world, and he seeks our aid.
Fine. I feel like I've lived this argument 1,000 times, and the only way to move past it is to concede to its nonsense. Adherent, speak to my sister. Agree to her fool's errand, so that we may continue the work of saving this city.
The Great Serpent sent you to me once again. I have seen visions of Anasko, searching for one bold enough to enter the heart of the vortex. And now that you are here, I know your arrival was no accident, but rather providence. Well put. The Great Serpent's works are imperceptible, even to heralds like myself. But rest assured, all will be revealed when you journey north. At the edge of the crater, you will find a cave carved by the anomaly. There, you will make contact with Anasko Va'ruun. It is as the Great Serpent foretold. In my visions, I witnessed two futures. In the first, you breached the scaled citadel, but found Anasko had sunk too far into the void. And in time, all of Dazra was consumed along with him. Indeed, but there is another path. In the second future, I saw you make contact with Anasko, entering a cave through a formless wall. At its terminus was a gate, a path into the realm where our speaker resides. You stepped into this void, and in that moment, something changed. The false future rewritten.
Roughly speaking, it could be that entering the vortex directly would allow you to speak with him. And while my readings do not show any anomalous activity, I admit there's a lot of interference. Still, that only emphasizes the potential danger involved here. I cannot approve of such an excursion on the minute chance Anasko is present. I've said as much myself, but my sister persists. It may save us more time to inspect the cave than to continue these arguments.
You may not realize it now, dear brother, but our goals are one and the same. Then you must embark to the northern edge of the crater. You will find an entrance there, one that has no form. Step through it, find Anasko, and complete the vision. Only then will his voice be heard.
abandoned me? Great Serpent? Do you not hear my pleas? You understand me? Hear my voice? But I do not know you, even if you are promised. I hesitate to ask, but what manner of being are you? Do you truly serve his will? No. I have heard my grandfather's tale of the moment of contact. You are not what he described. But to see you here, perhaps the Great Serpent works through you. That, in this dark moment, would be enough. I have reached out so many times to hear nothing but echoes. Yet you, an outsider, hear me plain. And for the first time, I hear you. Clearly your arrival here is fated. By stepping into this void, we are now linked. There is still reason to hope. The Great Serpent will see us through. But time is short. The bridge collapses. The gate is still open. The experiment still runs. Find me in the Scaled Citadel. I will wait for you there.
You see, Council. You return. What news do you have of Anasko? Then my vision did not betray me.
Well, it would seem I owe you an apology, sister.
There is no need, brother. Your skepticism only strengthens us.
As you say. But, to the matter at hand, did Anasko mention anything that could aid us in his extraction? Yes, the pinnacle of the Citadel was modified to house the equipment to create a gate to the vortex. If it still runs, that would explain everything we have experienced since the initial incident.
It is much more than that. Normally when I pray for Anasko's return, I sense he is lost, fading. But when I last prayed to the Great Serpent, I felt Anasko's presence clear and distinct. Even as it receded, I felt him anchored to this world. Yes, there are some who suggest that when Jinan communed with the Great Serpent, a similar bond had been established. I believe the same is true for you and Anasko.
I would need time to attempt a scientific explanation for why or how this happened, but for now, let us assume my sister is correct.
And that is the essence of faith. I do not know what lies ahead. My visions do not go beyond this point. But I do know this link would play a role. In fact, I am certain of it.
Agreed. And with this settled, we can now continue the work of aligning the noble houses. Together, we will find a way to complete the mourning device.
If you are not a member of House Bethal, you do not belong here. Another High Council lackey come begging? I told Lovick no more!
Forgive my brother. He has been forgetting his manners of late. Victor, this is Anasko's chosen. You recall Lovick sent word.
I recall he spoke of a newly anointed promised. And we do not need help, especially from an outsider.
You can't continue to refuse the council. You must act. Your inaction is killing you.
Precisely, which is why he leaves me no choice but to say this. My nephew Varric has left, and until he returns, Victor refuses to assist the council.
These are hardly matters for the ears of an outsider. Of course not. You are an outsider. You have no understanding of our house.
Is this not the opportunity you've been looking for, brother? A third party capable of finding Varric?
Yes, you said so yourself. Someone with no loyalties to speak of. And if he's become promised, truly his arrival is more than coincidence.
Serpent, give me strength. You both speak true. Perhaps I have reacted in haste. Tell me, adherent, are you well practiced in discretion? I have heard reports on reunion from the Ministry of Conjunction. This news gives me hope. As Vittoria mentioned, my son, Varric, has left. Essentially, he has abandoned his post. And not only did he turn his back on his house, but the Great Serpent as well. He is a traitor and must be dealt with as such.
Victor, surely you don't mean it.
He does, Luther. He is allowing his fervent pride and anger to cloud his judgment. What my brother is trying to say is that he wishes his own son dead. First, we lose Vashti to that malignance tearing through Dazra. And now you so willingly offer up Varric. As if our house has not suffered enough loss already.
Of course it would. As someone from the settled systems, you have no concept of what the Great Serpent demands of us. I do not wish Varric dead, but as head of the Ministry of State, he left me no choice. All must serve. Those who refuse will be met with death. Exceptions show weakness, and we cannot afford to show weakness at a time like this.
We have done the same for less. You act as if death is the only answer. What about forgiveness?
I will not risk the Ministry's authority on the actions of my own son, even if he is my chosen heir. If the High Council wants my cooperation, I need you to find Varric and carry out his sentence.
And I would ask you to spare him. My brother is acting under impulse, not reason.
I have never been more clear. Speak against me one more time, and you will regret it. Varric has a signet ring with House Vithal's family crest. Bring it to me as proof of death. Only then will I grant you access to the power grid. See that you get it done. I recommend you start by speaking to patrons of the Herald's Rest. Some of Varric's associates there may know where he went, but keep in mind, anyone who has directly aided him in hiding is an accomplice and shares his fate. If they were, they will pay the price. And remember, absolute discretion. All anyone needs to know is that you are looking for Varric for personal reasons. I will not risk word of his disappearance getting out before I can say the situation has been handled.
What? This railing is taken. And no, I'm not looking for company. Varric Vithal. And why should I know anything about the heir apparent? I'm nobody. Ask him yourself, if you find him. Great. Another person reminding me how unimportant I am. Varric. One day we're inseparable, and the next, I've searched all of Dazra for him. But he's gone. Couldn't even leave a note. That means he either doesn't want to be found or... well, I prefer not to think about it. So, what if I did? Like I said, he doesn't want to be found. Really? I couldn't live with myself if anything happened to him. All right, fine. But I'm only telling you this because I want him to be safe. I never found out where he is. But I know someone who might. His name is Tain Salavea. Hard to say right now, but Tain's a regular. If you stay a bit, you can't miss him. Just promise me you'll let me know if you find Varric. Thank you.
Greetings. The Great Serpent would not have done this unless truly necessary. We must not doubt his intentions.
It is difficult to imagine Dazra recovering from this. Some koza to lift your spirits? This bar is the only thing keeping many people safe.
Hey, aren't you that outsider made promise that showed up here recently? Oh, wow. You really bought in, huh? I'm an outsider myself. It's hard to get into the whole giant snake thing. And proud of it. I've been toting stuff back and forth for these people for years and still get the cold shoulder most places I go. But then these people lose half their city and you show up, and suddenly it's divine intervention. It sure has, to say the least. Anyway, enough about that. What can I do you for? Varric Vithal, huh? That's no small name around here. Well, I guess that depends, adherent. Who wants to know? Oh, sure. You just show up out of the blue and suddenly want to know where to find House Vithal's #1 son? And I know he wasn't lost to whatever ate up half of Dazra. Plenty of people have seen him since. Although, let's just say after what went down here, my retirement's looking imminent, and I haven't exactly been saving up for a rainy day. So if you're feeling generous, maybe we can help each other out. Nice to see we operate on the same wavelength. I'm pretty sure he's heading into the Highlands. Just not sure where. But I do have the means to track him. So you just say the word and we're off to the races. After you. Once we're outside of Dazra, I'll fire up my tracker and fingers crossed, it'll lead us right to him. Just head out the west gate, should be the fastest route. Could have done without that. All my years and all the planets I've been on. Never gonna get used to those things. You got that right. Damn House Va'ruun. Wiping out half their city and bringing in horrors like these. At least I don't see a body around here, so I hope that means Varric's alive. You find anything? Well, let's take a look. Varric's been busy if he got this much done. Nothing going on out here. How about you? Find anything? Sounds like it's a waiting game then.
It seems I have uninvited guests. You want to explain yourselves?
Whoa, hey, it's me. Dang. Put the gun down already.
It's not you I'm concerned about. It's your friend. I wish I could say I was pleased to meet you, but something tells me this isn't a social call. Please, if you're here on my father's orders, allow me to plead my case. I am not sure how familiar you are with our culture, but all I've ever wanted was the right to choose. I was born House Vithal. I was raised to inherit the role of elder, to run the Ministry of State, to worship the Great Serpent. But I want none of it.
With House Vithal? Easier said than done.
It's never mattered how much I tried to reason with him. My father simply would not let me go. His pride and the fear of what it would mean for House Vithal is all he cares about. Then you understand. All I want is to make my own life. Something Tane understood and was willing to help me with.
The credits help too, but yeah, guess you got the whole scoop now. Yeah, I needed a way to find him once he got outside the city. I lost my ship to the incident, so I didn't want Varric running off thinking I could just grab him and go. I was also out all the credits he was gonna pay me. That's where you came in. I figured, why not 2 for the price of 1?
So, now you know my true intentions for leaving, and given the circumstances, I may be here for some time. I hope now is to make the best of it here. I suppose I owe you that much. The truth is, the scaled citadel was the last straw. My people are so blinded by faith and politics, they don't see how it's destroying us. Anasko Va'ruun eliminated half our population in the blink of an eye. My sister Vashti among them. I could no longer live in a society that won't put its people first. That would destroy itself in the name of a god that has done nothing for us. I understand that some people need faith as guidance, but Va'ruun society takes it too far. I hope you can see why I want to walk away from all this. To start my own life. I ask that you give me that chance. Anything. Name it. The credits are easy, and I'll gladly pay a price for freedom. As for the ring, Vashti gave it to me. It's all I have left of her since the cataclysm. The disaster took every physical reminder of her except for this ring. Just wiped her from existence. True. It's as if she's looking out for me. One last time. Take it. I'll find solace in the fact that the ring will remain with my family. And now I hope we are done here. Thank you for seeing reason. I owe you both my life and freedom.
Now that's over with. I'm gonna hang back here, talk to Varric a bit. Besides, I don't want to be around when you break the news to Victor. Do me a favor and find me at the Herald's Rest when you're done.
Let us speak. You're back. What news do you bring?
What have you done? Varric.
This blood is on your hands, Victor. I hope you remember this. I have not overlooked your involvement in this.
No, it was Varric's choice. He knew the consequences.
You were his father. You were supposed to protect him. You think you are doing what is right out of some blind dedication, but you are destroying this house. You already lost one child. You had to murder the other.
Victoria!
I will not hear any more of this. It is done. Leave us.
Oh, I am leaving to mourn my nephew whose memory you disgrace with your very presence.
Victoria!
Leave her be, Luther. The Great Serpent will guide her. She will understand in time and emerge stronger for it. Indeed it does. Now, only one matter remains to discuss. Did you find anyone who aided my son in his treachery? Good. I also have heard nothing of my son's disappearance, so I appreciate your discretion in this matter. You restored order to this house, and have my gratitude. Here, the access code that Ekris needs to connect to the power grid. Now go. I have much to arrange.
If only you had allowed Varric to live.
Our fate lies in the morning device. It must be completed. Did Victor finally relinquish the access code? Excellent. We'll finally have the resources to fully charge the morning device. Now, let's hope House Dulkef is as forthcoming as the others.
Even in these trying times, we're doing all we can to keep House Va'ruun supplied. There you are, adherent. I've been expecting you. Malibor has kept me informed of the situation. The deadlock of the High Council. I hope your presence here means things have changed. Good. Good. I'm pleased that the Council is once again working towards a solution. It felt wrong not to help. Do you know where I was when it happened? The incident, they call it. I was in the temple next door, conversing with my cousin. I was in the middle of replying to him about, you know, I don't even recall. Some meaningless bit of family drama, I am sure. One moment he was there, and the next, gone. My cousin, the floor, the wall, just gone. I found myself looking out at the scaled citadel, unable to comprehend. And now, here I stand, the elder of House Dulkef. My loss? Yes, I suppose. Although, from an outside perspective, one could consider it a fair trade. Given my new role, perhaps even a gain. Hardly. I was quite comfortable with my position within House Dulkef, and fully expected to remain where I was. You cannot imagine it. A single moment of pure, terrible silence. A meter's distance was all that separated me from whatever has become of Dazra. I find that through all the chaos and the scrambling since, my mind drifts back to that moment. I could be gone as well. But here I remain, spared. And I do not know why. And where is this forward leading? I'm sorry. I should shoulder my own burdens, not force them upon you. I've grown so tired of the Council squabbling, and I want no further part in it. I have no demands, no requests. All must serve, and House Dulkef is no exception. The Speaker has always been the guiding light of House Va'ruun. In his absence, it is of no surprise that some would find themselves lost, stumbling in the dark. That is what I can tell you. Sometime before our current calamity, Anasko Va'ruun approached me looking for information about his grandfather's time. He was frustrated at the lack of progress. House Dulkef keeps extensive records, you see. While I was never told the exact reason behind the inquiry, I was able to deduce a fair amount. I provided him with the shipping manifest from the time of the Serpent's crusade, materials and equipment that suggested some highly specialized research. I told Anasko where those materials had been sent. Weeks later, well, you've seen the Citadel. You know as well as any where we are now. The timing is too close to be coincidence. Anasko returned from the site in unusually good spirits. He boasted of something called the Vortex Interlock, and that it was the key to unlocking some new unseen potential. Whatever records exist of this interlock were swallowed up with the Citadel. And as for the original site, executors were sent, but did not return. And we can spare no more casualties. So I suggest you visit Malin Dam to the southeast. I believe it is more than it seems. It is the only place to learn more about these vortex interlocks and what connection they may have to the events at the Citadel. And should your search be fruitful, make sure it is known that House Dulcev was proud to serve when called upon.
It's always good to see a friendly face. No offense, but it's not your property. I only wish to serve, I swear. You are right, though. Here, take it.
Warning. Power fluctuations detected. Rerouting to compensate. Drainage pump control bypassed.
You are not welcome here. You will leave immediately. This is your only warning. The choice is yours to make. But if you do not turn back, there's only one way this can end. Jinan Va'ruun himself charged us with the protection of this facility. It was his last order, and it will be carried out. And yet, his orders were clear. That he has passed on does not matter. The work done here must be safeguarded, protected, never permitted to leave. None but the Speaker may decide otherwise. And you are not the Speaker.
get too close. Do not fear. They know who I am. You do, yes? I can see it. You know me. I am Anasko Va'ruun, Speaker for the Great Serpent.
Yes, Speaker. We know. We serve. We have always served.
And your service is commended. Are you all that remain of this place?
Jinan Va'ruun himself bade us guard these halls for all time. Others left. We remain.
Very well. You, get to work.
Yes, of course, sir. At once. You heard the speaker. Every terminal, every data log, every cable and component. I want it all inspected and a full report within the hour.
You were warned. You did not listen. Very well. The Speaker's orders will be carried out. You must die. You would be rid of me so easily. The arrogance! The work done here has tied us to this place for all time. That is why we have agreed to guard it.
Sister, have you not finished this game? You should have heeded Karija's words in the beginning, little one. This is no place for you.
The outcome has not changed, Vedrasa. We are still in control here. I respect your dedication, but I also cannot stop. I swore an oath to House Va'ruun, and I will uphold it. Do you even understand why you are here? What it is you are looking for? This seems a fool's errand. So, you do know something about this place. It does not matter. The interlocks are not yours. They belong here with us, and they will stay here. You should have left when you had the chance. a weary abyss, I assure you, it will not end. I have already made it clear that you cannot.
This is turning into a most exhilarating exercise.
All this noise over one little trespasser. Let us be done with this already.
The experiments here have ensured our resilience. We endure because it has been ordered of us. House Va'ruun's return to greatness begins with the work done here. And until that time comes, we will keep it safe. Then you will not be leaving at all.
Warning. Power grid destabilized. Containment fields failing. Backup systems risk overload. Consider manual shutdown at the earliest convenience.
You utter fool! Do you have any idea what you have done? Oh, you are so very clever. More so than Anasko's entourage. Those interlocks power our pods. You have killed Vedrasa. What is more, you have disrupted the flow of power within the dam. You are one step from dooming those farmers on the surface. All right, hero. You have proven yourself a commendable opponent. But now, you have a choice to make. If you can remove the remaining interlock, you will have bested us. But you will ruin the lives of those above us. Or we can continue this contest of wills and see which of us is stronger. The choice is yours. But we do. My dedication to the Great Serpent demands my obedience to his Speaker's orders.
Critical power failure. Dam function compromised. Emergency evacuation protocols enacted. Please exit the facility.
Now that our calculations have been fine-tuned, I am even more confident in our chances of success. I am old and my eyesight is not what it used to be, but I know the face of success when I see it. Your lead from House Dulkef paid off. I have heard of such a thing. Recently, in fact, just before the accident. That is apparently not a coincidence. We do not need it for the device, but if this accounts for some of the leaps in progress in the Citadel, you may wish to hold on to it. As much as I have devoted my life to science, one cannot deny that there is an occasional spark of the divine. The Great Serpent has use for this, and you, still to come. Your timing is excellent, in fact. I believe we are ready to proceed. Just a few quick preparations. Creating the necessary connections. It is done. Adherent, will you do us the honor? All personnel to stations. Clear the platform.
Activating power grid interlink.
Powering draft drive.
Field projector. Standing by.
Standing stabilizers.
Draft field stable.
Capacitors fully charged.
All stations reporting. Ready to proceed with targeting.
Targeting system engaged.
Calibrating lens array.
Adjusting counterweights.
Locking axial tilt. Device is in position.
It's time. On your mark. Fire! Focus.
Beam on target.
Compensating for recoil.
It is working. Steady.
Attempting to stabilize. Detecting graviton flux.
Hold! We cannot fail the sleeper now.
Rerouting power.
Burning out.
Enough! Shut it down!
Cutting power.
Draft drive cycling down.
Turning 0 point.
Retracting stabilizers.
Shutdown complete.
Clear! Well done, all. Well done. We have done all we can. I am sure the Council is waiting to speak with you.
I was not certain this would work, but it seems the Serpent has blessed us.
You have always lacked faith, Dulkef.
One could argue that faith got us into this mess in the first place.
Enough! It is time for action, not bickering.
Agreed. We must secure the Citadel. Send in everyone.
Are you mad? We have no idea how stable this is. No idea what is happening inside.
I disagree. Committing a large force is impossible. There have been reports of increased zealot activity, no doubt in response to what we have been doing here.
It would be unwise to leave Dazra even more vulnerable than it already is.
And, to be candid, We have no idea what will happen to anyone entering the Citadel. We must minimize the potential risk. It is only fitting that it should be you.
Really? I do not doubt our newest member's conviction, but...
What else can we do? He is the only one who can communicate with Anasko. Save as much as you can. Save it all, if possible, but the Speaker must be your priority. Do whatever it takes to bring Anasko back to us. I pray it will be so. May the Serpent guide you on your path. We will speak again soon, I hope.
You're really here. Oh, I feared what I saw. That connection we made was yet another vision. This is real, is it not? I knew the Serpent would deliver me from this nightmare, that there must be some way out. Every time I have attempted to leave this place, I find myself lost, wandering, unable to see. There is nothing out there. Tell me, what of Dazra? The people of House Va'ruun? I have had terrible visions, a dreadful sense of loss. I had hoped what I saw was only some terrible nightmare, but I knew it to be true. You must believe me. We meant none of this. All of the research, the calculations, we thought we could contain it. I only ever wanted to help, to improve, to elevate House Va'ruun. You do not understand. We cannot simply leave. The chain reaction that started, it is self-sustaining. We tried everything. We had hoped we could complete the experiment, but then the vortex interlock burned out. You have one, don't you? I can feel the power from here. Then the Serpent truly has sent you to us. I wish I could guarantee your safety, but I am graced by the Serpent and have retained my faculties. So many of my people were not as fortunate. You will have no choice but to deal with them. The reactor level is below us. Bring the interlock there. We will need it if we wish to see this through.
What is happening to us? I sent you even I have completed my search. The heretics appear to have left the area. Accurate.
As I said, a new vortex lock is needed. The reactor must be stabilized before we can proceed. We did not anticipate that we might have erred in our recreation of the vortex interlock, or that we could overload it. I had lost hope. I grew up hearing stories of my grandfather's communion with the Great Serpent, the immense responsibility he was given to create and guide House Va'ruun. By the time I became Speaker and inherited that responsibility, so much had changed. The once proud glory of House Va'ruun was diminished. We had lost our way, and I alone could not discern a path forward. I required the Great Serpent's guidance once more, so I set out to find him. Perhaps, but were that true, were he to judge me for it, I could accept that. It would have been worth it, all the same. Perhaps that judgment still awaits me, for thus far I have not seen his glory in person. I learned that my grandfather had attempted something similar. I found reassurance in that idea that he, too, sought additional instruction from the Serpent. And over time, I began to see that the Great Serpent had indeed left a path for me, hidden amongst the experimental failures and setbacks. This vortex, the place between places, and the energy it holds could be harnessed, refined, directed. But we are so close. We are on the precipice of greatness. Utilizing the vortex energy, we have learned that we can create powerful warriors, capable of teleporting vast distances in an instant. The brave volunteers in this room await the chance to be the first wave of soldiers loyal to the Great Serpent and our cause. House Va'ruun can project force on a scale unimaginable in the history of the human race. Tinan Va'ruun's mandate can be fulfilled. The Serpent's crusade can begin anew. Despite all that has happened, their life support system has remained stable. Just one more sign from the Great Serpent that we are following his will. And now, the glorious honor falls to you, my faithful servant. Activate the pods. Carry out the Serpent's will, and begin House Va'ruun's triumph! Please, I have waited so long for this. Just activate the pods. What other choice do we have? The heathens and heretics loathe our very existence already. Why not be what they expect? By finishing what Tinan Va'ruun started, we fulfill our duty to prepare the way for the Great Serpent. And none will ever again dare mock or belittle us. Peace? You think House Va'ruun has known peace? We suffer each and every day. This will restore the balance. Excellent. It is done. This is but the first wave. Once we have restored the Citadel, we will have the knowledge and power to send out hundreds, thousands more.
Intruders dead. In level. Emergent.
Zealots have infiltrated the Citadel. They cannot be allowed to gain control of our work. Waste no time. Ascend the Citadel. Join me at the pinnacle. We must defend the Vortex Gate. We cannot fail the Great Serpent now.
Where did they go?
That's it. glad to have you here with me in this moment, but we are running out of time. We risk losing everything to the Zealots, so the gate must cycle one more time, shifting the Citadel into the vortex and back again. The Zealots inside will be cast into the void, but I am sorry to say, so will you. It is the only way. The Serpent's Crusade is too important to risk. The work must carry on. You have served honorably. Your deeds here and your sacrifice will be heralded down through the generations. No! You will not jeopardize everything now!
Slowly, slowly. You have been through a lot. I cannot believe it. The Citadel is gone. There is no sign of Anasko. You failed. You brought us no scrap of hope for the future. I do not wish to suggest that I do not care.
I would do more than suggest. You are inconsequential compared to the speaker. Why are you standing here instead of in Anasko? Then truly, we are lost. Without Anasko, there is no speaker. There is no way forward.
Perhaps. Or perhaps we acknowledge a simple truth. We are currently the government. We decide what happens from here.
You dare speak of treason? Heresy!
I speak of survival.
Please, calm down, both of you.
This is not a time to be calm or sit idly by. This is a time for action. We, the three of us, are the High Council. All of House Va'ruun looks to us for guidance. We should provide it.
Yes, Jamal is right. We would have to name a new speaker.
Malabor, you cannot possibly be considering this madness. We do not have that kind of authority. It is not within our power.
But Lovek, it can be. We can decide that right here, right now. We can carve a path forward for House Va'ruun. Or else, we can sit by and watch all that we have built crumble around us.
And what assurance do I have that the two of you are not just looking to usurp power for yourselves?
Then we let the adherent decide. And we have a herald here as a witness.
An amusing thought, but no. Try again. Then so it shall be. House Va'ruun moves forward from this crisis and continues to serve the Great Serpent.
All must serve.
Before you adjourn, is there not one matter more to address?
I do not understand. To what do you refer?
To the matter of the Serpent's crusade, of course. The adherent knows of what I speak.
I don't understand. The crusade was ages ago. What does that have to do with any of this?
Explain the meaning of this at once. Truly, that was the speaker's wish? Then our path is clear.
Respectfully, I disagree. We are in no position to undertake something like that right now. We need time to rebuild, recover.
There is nothing more to discuss. If the speaker calls for crusade, then we answer.
I can assure you all that he did indeed believe in it.
Then House Vethol agrees. The crusade begins. What does House Dulkef say?
I have no wish to defy the speaker, but he is no longer here. The Va'ruun people need time. House Dulkef declines.
No, I should have expected as much. And what does House Kadik say?
Both of my colleagues have made valid points. The matter is complicated. I believe that for the moment, House Kadik abstains.
So, one vote for, one against. And what about you? Should we take up the sword and fight for House Va'ruun, or continue to cower here and pity ourselves? So be it.
And with all of this out of the way, we will take our leave. You have been through a great deal and deserve a chance to rest. The home, of course, is yours. You deserve a place among us after everything. Know that House Va'ruun is eternally grateful for all that you have done, and that the Great Serpent will one day grant you a place by his side.